Morning, Jules here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. So what we're going to be doing today is working on another idea for decorating our pages, and it's using napkins. Now I've got, these are remainders of bits that I've used in the past. This is something I brought back from Cyprus. I think we were at a seafood. We've got poppies, we've got butterflies and flowers, again flowers, that's a Christmas one, but it's, you know, I buy packs of napkins all over, butterflies. This one's just greenery, ideal for a botanical. This one's, I quite like this one, but I prefer the white ones like this because all you see is that. When you put something like this on, it covers the whole page. So if you've got like a magazine page, you can cover a lot with it. And there's, you usually find with napkins that the four, you know, the four quarters, you've got too much in there, so that they don't, it's not one whole picture. Sometimes you can get one whole picture. There we've got the music, the lavender and things like that. So what I've done is I've already gone ahead and I've picked out 4 pages to put our napkins on. Now I use Mod Podge, and I just put a tiny bit in and some water, and I use that. Some people use glue sticks, some people use matte mediums. Today I'm going to do the matte medium because I prefer that. That's a matte, that's a gloss. I don't have any of the matte Mod Podge, but I can put the matte over the top. So the pages that I've picked the book page for the Botanical. And this one I didn't show. I picked this one to put this nice border up against that. I know it's got the Eiffel Tower on, and I know it normally goes that way, but it looks just as good that way. I've picked one of the envelopes for the butterflies, and another one, it's just an abstract, just colours to go over a music sheet, so you can still see the music behind, but you've got the hues of these colours over the top. So I think first of all we'll go with the book page, and when you get a napkin it's either triple or double layered. I think this one's double layered, and this one is cut. So what I usually do is I usually scratch the end just gently, and that brings the layers off, because you need it to be a single layer, and I think that is. Yep, that's the single layer. And what I want to do is I want to put it on that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip it round this flower, leaf, I think it's a, move this out the way. And you can do this with water as well. I'll show you. So I've got a brush here with water in it. So let me bring the brushes. And if you just wet them, it comes away. and that's probably the easiest way to do it. And you can take, it doesn't really matter because these the white bits just go transparent when they're on book page. But this is going to be too long anyway, so and we're going to put that there, and I'm just going to bring that in there. That, and we'll put that there, and we'll put that up there like that. So we'll put this away, and we'll move these out of the way. Now what I want is, I want some paper to go under here, and I'm going to use a bit of that. And we'll start with the Mod Podge. So I've got, it's a pudding cup, and I always put a little bit of polythene over and just put a little bit in. You don't need a lot. I don't measure it. And then you need some water. There was a little bit of water in that anyway. And all you're doing is you're just adding water to the Mod Podge. And then be careful if you use a book page that's kind of fragile, that you don't put too much water. You might want a little bit more glue on it than is. So we'll just put that, and if you go over the edges, it doesn't matter, it can be cut off. And then we just use the same solution. Be careful, because look, you can see that I've gone over. This is kind of a hard brush. I'm just putting a little bit more so it sticks down. So just go gently. And you can see, there you can see I've taken a little bit of that away, and we'll just stick that down like that. And we'll put this one in this top corner, shove that in there. Bit more on there. And I am doubling it over there a bit, and that might show up, but I'm not that bothered. It's going to decorate the page, and that's the main thing. And I'm just, now what I am going to do is I am going to use the brush a little bit roughly around the edges, just to get some of this and I like to decorate envelopes like this, and it just makes them look a little bit old, and you can stamp on them, and and I have got videos on that. And then we'll just pick those up. And you'll see some of the napkins gone a little bit wrinkled, but that's fine. I'm just being very careful. I'm just making sure that I don't get any bubbles. I'm just pressing down the edges. And I've used glue stick like this as well, just put all glue stick on it as well. You just wipe that glue up. This is just where I was wiping coffee dyed spillage up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry that, and I'll be back in a minute. You can't see a lot of the napkin at all. You know, it's gone transparent into the bits that you can see. It's either still wet or it hasn't stuck to the page. Okay. And then you can just straighten your page out. And I don't know whether you can see there, but that is a little bit glossy. Just picking that off. And then this is where I would use a little bit of a, if you don't like the wrinkles, just go over them a little bit with an emery board or a low grade sandpaper. Don't do it too hard because you will lift any, and then you can go around the edges of the page, you know, where you've overlapped, where the napkin's gone over the page, and you can just pull them off. And there we are. We have a nice pretty page for you to put your pockets or your ideas on. So the next one was this one. And again, I'm going to put that there. And it was this one. And I think this one's triple layered. And what I am going to do is I am going to cut that. I'm going to cut it straight up because I like this border. And I'm going to put it right along, so I'm just going to trim up that. And I'm going to take a little bit of this away. So that the roses are more on the dark. So again, what I do is I scratch that. No, it's double layered, not triple layered, I think. Some people use sellotape. You can use kind of sellotape. Yeah, it is only one layer. And that will go over there like that, and it doesn't matter that you've got all that. So what we will do is we will use the water brush again. And we're taking off some of the Eiffel Tower that's there. And that just gives it a more of a rough edge. And we've got our paper behind, and again and the glue and water mixture won't sink into this so much because it was glossy and then it has been covered over with gesso or paint. And I'm just going to stand up just to get that right to the edge like that, and then I'm just smoothing it down. And just doing a little bit more here just so that it all sticks down, because the last thing you want is any dry bubbles. And then just go over it with the, and you can see it is, you can see the dark, there was a dark band there, and you can see that dark band behind it, but it doesn't take away from the pretty border of roses. And this one would be good for like Valentine's Day, and because it's Paris and it's roses. And again, I'm just going to go away and dry this. I'll be 2 seconds. And again, we just want to, and I think what I might do to take that edge off, I might take an edge punch. It's just a loop. And this is one of the paper edge punches that you match up, so you just make sure that you've got your edges butted up to that, and then you match the pattern. Okay, and then you go to this side, match your pattern. we just want this last bit done. So matching that. And there we are. There we are. And if you wanted, you could put another piece of paper down. And on that side, it looks quite nice as well. So we've got that one done. And there we are. So now we've got our book page envelope. Now, the one problem I have is that will melt when I put the heat gun over that to dry. So what I might do is I might do that and let it dry naturally at a later date, and we'll concentrate on this one. And this paper, this is the one that's been ripped, and I said to you not to worry about it. If you rip a bit of paper that's going in here, you can either stick it with washi tape or another piece of paper. And I don't actually want that right up to the edge. I want it up to about there. So I'm just in fact, what I'm going to do is, now I've got my line, I'm going to go and we will take that off like that, and we'll put that over there, and this is going to go on there like that. So I want my glue up to there and a bit up to there. So again, and just, I know it's a bit rough up there, and I am going to use that rough bit as well. And you can see where we put a little bit of gesso there, it's shining through, which is fine. And again, just be quite gentle, because there's no pattern to this. We're not wanting to get rid of any of, we just want it all to stick down. And it will go a little bit wrinkled, but a little bit of emery board will sort that out, no problem. And I'm just putting a little dab on the edges, because we're off the edges anyway. And I'm just pull that away. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to dry that, and you'll see that sort of seeing a bit. Okay, so that you can see that, but what I am going to do is I'm just still a little bit damp. I'm just going to take the edge of the napkin off. So this can be one of your ideas if you've never done it before. Decorating pages with napkin. I'm just going to dry that side. I have to. And there you can see that. And then I'm just going to go quite nice anyway, and this napkin has kind of gold spots on it, so what I want to do is I want to continue that. This is acrylic gold paint. Could be the wrong brush I'm using. That doesn't seem to be watered enough. And that's better. That's better. Maybe I didn't have enough ink. Yeah. Now I'm going a bit because it's like flicking back up and going on my put that down there. On there, I've got it all over my hands, and I'm just going to dry this up. I am going to wipe this up first, and I'll not make so much the next time. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so yeah, so that's, I did splodge the little bits with my finger a bit because there were like little domes and I didn't want little domes. But I don't know whether you can see the gloss of the Mod Podge, and if I wanted to I could go over that with matte medium and that would matte it down, but at the moment I'm quite happy with yeah, you can see it a little bit, yeah, and it's gone over there, so I quite like that. So you can see it's caught the heat, so what I might end up having to do is take that out and just not have a window there. Just cover that up totally, which means we can do this and we can have our butterflies, so that's what we'll do. So because I'm running out of Mod Podge and I don't want to do another bit, I'm just gonna just using the same brush that I used on my Mod Podge, so it's got a bit of Mod Podge on it, it's got a bit of water. I'm not sure how that'll work out, but I don't care. because it's a junk journal. A bit more on there. Put that in the Mod Podge pot. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to use that straight edge and I'm just going to pull it a little bit and just smooth it out. And then I'm going to mix a bit of water with that and see how it goes. Might work, might not. We'll see. I'll let you know if it works. Well, you'll see if it works. A bit more in. Because it's starting to thicken up anyway. Once you open these things, you do need to use them. You can't leave them for years like I tend to do with some of them. So just give that a good mix up. That's better. There is some thick lumps in it, but it seems to be working. So that's a bit of the artist's acrylic matte medium mixed with a bit of water. And it does seem to work. Now you have to remember that the envelope was pink because it was avocado dyed, which is a pink dye. So I'm just going to dry this and see what it's like. Right, so it seems to have worked. I'm going to use my ruler just to lift that. Maybe it is stuck. I'll pick that out later. But it's worked out alright because it's quite matte and I quite like it. And I'm just going to turn that around so that I can get that off there, like that. I should have clipped this down before I went to stick it, or pulled it off while it was still wet. Would have been a lot easier, but it's fine. Yeah, I quite like that. It looks nice up against that. I mean, that's a pocket, so you know, we will be doing some other bits and pieces. I might cover that in book page, collage it. That one's definitely going to get stuck with a pretty paper. But I will stick just that so that the pocket isn't totally stuck. It won't be that one because that's a Christmas one. But yeah, but I'm liking those spots, and I'm seriously thinking about maybe doing some with a bit different colour. I think maybe it's this rose. It's a bit pink. But this, remember, this has still got gold on it, so it'll make it go oh, that's a bit too, and we'll wipe that splodge up. That's better. Put this over here. Cool. We've got some ink splodges on there. Fine, doesn't matter. We'll get these dried. So that's it. So we've got that one, which is on the book page, and that's quite pretty. And that had some splodges. I could have done some gold splodges on that. Then we've got that one with the pink roses, and we decided to do some pink splodges. We've got that one, which is part of the pocket, and then we've got that one with the gold splodges, and I do like that. I like the gold splodges, so I think might use that on, because you can see where the glue's gone through, so we might, although that makes that look more old, I might do a little bit of coffee dyeing on that one, and make it a little bit more older, and then do some inking around the edges and some gold splodges. In fact, I think what we might do is we might do a little bit of coffee. I've got some coffee here. So and then that'll be done for the next time. So what I'll do for the next one, because what I want to do is I want to cover some textured paste, but what I'm using is homemade textured paste. I'm not using the stuff that you pay a lot of money for, and it's just as good as, because I've used them all. And when that dries out, that just might even that, and we'll leave it at that. So when that dries, I will ink around the edges. We'll do a little bit more inking, and then we'll do some textured paste on that, and we will do some textured paste just on sort of like these normal pages. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.